Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. The thing that makes this card a little bit different is that I've done dry embossing all around the edge, but I left the centre bit flat so that I could stamp my poinsettia in there. I'm going to do one little change with this card is where I've got the sentiment here, it was actually punched out with the washi tape punch and it's been put onto the card with dimensionals, but this time I'm going to stamp this straight onto my card. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to make a template to do our embossing. I have two here. I've got number 6 and number 7, and this refers to number 6 and number 7 on the circle framelit dies. I'm going to do number 6 today, so as always start from the inside, smaller the die, smaller the number. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what I have over there. So to start off with, the cardstock you're going to need. First of all, for your card, you need a card base, which is 11.5 inches by 5 and 3/4, scored and folded down the middle at 5 3/4. A piece of real red cardstock, which measures 5 5/8 inches by 5 5/8, and then a layer of whisper white, which measures 5.5 by 5.5. To make your template, you're going to need 3 pieces of cardstock, and this I've taken from a backing sheet that came with some DSP from Stampin' Up, and I've cut them into 3 6 by 6 squares. What you need to do is take your ruler and measure from, put your ruler from corner to corner, and I'm going to use a blunt pencil for the video because I know my normal pencil doesn't show through. So I'm just going to put my ruler like that. I'm going to draw a line from side to side. I'm going to do this a little bit heavier so that it's actually visible. Oops, I've moved. It's actually visible. Okay, and then turn it round and do the other corner to corner. Right, let's try and keep it still this time. You don't need to do it as heavily as this. Okay, I just wanted to do it so that it can be seen. Turn it over and do exactly the same on the opposite side. I'll explain why when we get to the appropriate bit. There we go, that's that one. And that one. Right, now we need to die cut the holes, so I'm going to bring my Big Shot over and to start off with I need my, oh no, I can use this one, can't I? I was going to say I was going to need my multi-purpose platform, but I don't. No, I'm thinking ahead of myself, but even when I get to the next bit I still won't need to use it. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my die, my number 6 die, where I think I'll turn that upside down so my die gets a bit of a better grip. My cutting mat is a little bit warped. So as you know, I don't have a straight eye, so I'm just going to roughly measure this to make sure it's about in the middle. I know that should be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's about right. A bit dodgy twisting it like that in case it moved. That's 1 1/4. This is going to be too far over, I think. It is. So all I'm going to do, because I'm not going to get myself upset about it being spot on, I'm just moving it down, hopefully about 1/8 of an inch. So that's good enough. So pop your top cutting mat over it, clip it through. And you'll see that it's cut straight through beautifully. So with the other 2 pieces, let's move that off for a moment. I'll use this as a table. So you're just going to line that sheet up with the next sheet and just draw around it. And then the same with the next sheet. This saves having to keep measuring. And at least you know if one circle's wrong, they're all going to be wrong. Okay, so pop this one back, pop that one on, just line it up. That's it. That one out. Bring our 3rd one in. And die cut that one. And pop that one. Okay, so that's that bit done. I'll have to move this out of the way for a moment. Bring these 3 back in. And what I'm going to do is just stick these together with Tombow. Now, the reason I said to do your pencil lines on both sides, from here you can see that the die has left an impression around there. Well, that I want to have it face downwards when I'm gluing all these together, so that that ridge doesn't show. I don't think it would make any difference to the embossing, but I'd rather not take a chance. So I'm just going to stick these 2 together. I don't know whether you could actually use fast fuse or something else. This is what I've used. I know that it works. I'm happy using Tombow. It's easy, it gives me a little bit of time to manoeuvre. Right, so what you need to do, get the 2nd piece, pop it on top, and then make sure it lines up. Now this makes it look as if one side is a bit bigger than the other. Let's do that round that way. So if you move quickly, you can change this, that's better. One side has got to be slightly different than the other. Just make sure that this is all lined up. So you've only got one side circle there, you haven't got little bits dipping in and out. If you have any dipping in and out, make it happen on the edge here, because that won't matter. So then we're going to do the next one, but let's do it on here. glue down there. Right, okay, so put the last one on top. And make sure that fits together nicely too. No, that looks as if that one's slightly out as well. That's better. How strange is that? I can understand two of them being the same size because of the way it was cut. But, as I say, as long as your circles match up, you're good to go. And that one's a little bit out. That's better. And the other thing is, if you find, like I'm going to with this one once it's dried, especially down here as well, if you find that this is still sticky, you can either use your what they call it, embossing buddy, and go round there, give it a good little bit of a smack, so the powder comes out. Either that or use something like talcum powder. Make your craft room smell nice as well. Right, now once you've done this, you can't use it straight away, but I do recommend you write on it what size die you've used. Obviously the shape's going to be obvious. Okay, so I'll use not number 7, I'm going to use number 6 for the card we're making today. So the first thing I want to do is, I said I'm going to change up the way this sentiment was done. What I want to do is I want to stamp this straight down here before it goes through the embossing folder. So let's see what happens. This sentiment comes from Peaceful Pines, which is one of the new sets that will be available in the Christmas catalogue, which goes live on the 1st of September. If you saw my blog last week, I did a project every day using this, and it's fabulous. Right, so I keep finding little bits landing from everywhere. Let's try this again. I'm just going down in the corner, bring it towards me so I'm in with a chance of getting this straight. I don't press too hard, but I do just give it a few minutes to take the ink. It's actually taken ink inside the E and the A because my ink pads are still so very, very moist. But that's okay, I'm not going to get upset about that. Right, what we need now is to bring the big shot over again. Now, although we're doing embossing, you don't need to use your multi-purpose platform for this. So I'd just like to explain a little bit about the embossing folder. What I'm using is, I want to show you that bit. I'm using Softly Falling, which is, again, something that's going to be available in the Christmas catalogue. And because I've done that stamping, sorry, I think you're in front of me because I've got a screen in front of me, that's going to go into the embossing folder, and I'm going to try and avoid any embossing on it. So what I'm going to do, let's see, bumps at the bottom. So I'm putting this as close to the bottom as I can get it. Okay, if I move it along slightly, it gets that one. I can't avoid the embossing totally unless I put it in the middle, but I don't want that. So let's just put this in straight. So near the bottom is going to be close enough for me. Now what you need to do is, once you've got your paper in there, you take your frame and you need to line up these 4 corners of your paper onto the pencil line that you got here, and it should line up on all of them. Now I'm not going to be able to show you where this is lining up on these two sides because I have writing, but you'll see parts of the pencil mark, I think, but you will definitely be able to see at the bottom here where that's lining up. Okay, you may have to move it a bit to make sure it all gets lined up. Okay, so can you see where the corner? Yes, you can. You see where the corner's lining up with the pencil mark as it's going through, and on that side. You can see my lights up there as well, can't you? Okay, so there's that, but you won't be able to see down here, I don't think. I think you can just about see it coming through there, but take it from me, it does line up. So what you need, you don't need your first cutting mat. I have found on my machine I need just, this is just computer paper and it's folded in half. Mine does like that little shim. So still holding this really tight, holding on for my dear life here. Placing it down, hold on, I've got to turn it around because I need to put the fold in first. Okay, so placing it down without letting the template underneath move. You may prefer to tape your bits together using some washi tape to stop it from moving, which you can do. Right, then you just put a cutting mat on top. Okay, so let me go through your layers again. So I've got my magnetic platform first. I have a sheet, a double sheet of shim, just computer paper. Then I have my template, and then my embossing paper, embossing folder that's got my cardstock inside to be embossed, and then just run that through. It is a little bit on the stiff side, but once it's got the grip, it's okay. Okay, so if I take that, remove that out of the way, I'll take my shim out. I'll pop that down there for a moment. Let's just move this. I'm going to pop this out of the way. Okay, so now if I open this up, you can see that I have my plain circle in the middle. Okay, and I've only got one little bit of embossing through the word, through the letter N. That's a little bit crooked. Right, the other thing I wanted to show you before I disappear totally on this, whatever size square you use, if you use the template that you've made, when you've put it in your embossing folder, you can just make sure that your corners line up with the pencil marks on all four. Where am I? That makes it look as if I haven't got myself a square here. No, that's fine. That's fine. Not that you would want to put a big circle like that on a small piece of cardstock like this, but if you did. Now can you see how I've lined that small piece up with the pencil marks on the top and the bottom? Okay. Got a bit of a shadow there, I know. But if I put that through the Big Shot now, I would have the plain centre right in the centre of that square. Okay, that's because you've done a square there, and that was a square as well. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stamp my flower straight into the centre here, and this is coming from another set in the Christmas catalogue, and this is called Reason for the Season. And I'm just doing the 2-step stand, 3-step actually, because I'm going to do the flower centre as well. if you watch my blog this week, you'll see me doing a different project every day using this set. Oh no, because this isn't going to be posted this week, is it? It's only at the moment. So if you look at my blog for the week of, must have started about the 17th of August, and you'll see lots of other ideas that I've done. Okay, so on these stamps, Stampin' Up have put little pointers, little arrows down here, so you can line all of them up and you know that they're all going in the right direction. I did say on my blog the other day that I didn't like doing this black outline and then doing these on the inside. I said that I thought it looked a bit too fussy. Fortunately, I only practiced it on a piece of computer paper, but rather than throw it away, what I did with it, I cut it out and popped it in here. So at least I can look at this and it reminds me which way the flowers should be going. But that's why I didn't like the black outline. No, it just didn't do it for me. So the way I like to do this is so that the arrow is going off, what's that, southwest, in the southwesterly direction. So I'm just going to stamp it what it looks to be in the centre of my circle. I don't put too much pressure on it. I just like to leave it long enough to soak up the ink. And then I'm going to do the leaves in green. And the green I'm using is Old Olive. Okay, again they've got the arrow here, so I need that going down southwest as well, which means I should be able to line up here somewhere. Yes, that's about right. Okay, isn't that lovely? It's so easy. The last bit I'm going to do is to do the yellow centre, and for the yellow I'm using Daffodil Delight. I'm not sure if there's a right or wrong way up for this. I think as long as it goes in the centre, that's okay. So there we go. All I need to do now is to put the card together, and I'm going to do that with Tombow. Okay, make sure I've got my card around the right way. Okay. There we go. The final step on this card for me is I use some Gold Glitz Dazzling Details just to pop a little bit of sparkle in the centre of my card. And there we go, one really very nice simple card, but it's a technique more that I was showing you today, where you can get the plain circle in the middle. And let me show you some other cards that I did. You've seen that one. This one I use another new embossing folder that's coming out in the new catalogue. I love this. The trees, absolutely love it. The only other thing that I will point out to you about doing the shapes for these templates, as you can see, the outline is not very definite of a circle. There really isn't any point, sorry, this is the brick wall one as well. There isn't really any point in doing fancy shapes, you know, shapes that have got fancy bits at the end and what have you, because it just gets lost in this. Circles, oblongs and squares are absolutely brilliant. So there you go, that's it, that's that today's technique for you. Not sure what it's called, but there you go, that's it. Many thanks for watching my video today. If you have any questions, please contact me. As always, I will be very happy to help you. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button either at the right hand side of the screen or possibly underneath the screen. If you'd like to buy any of the products that are currently available, which is the cardstock and the inks, or if you'd like to receive a Christmas catalogue from me, please contact me at my email address, which is below. For the shopping, please click on the 24/7 link that's at the bottom of the screen. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.